Kitchen, my indoor kitchen. Hey, Mike.
Alright, it should be started. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Mine is super helpful. Nice to see you can sit anywhere.
Says it anywhere?
Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna sit right here.
So what's this?
Sparklers. 4th of July.
I'll take that. So I'm going to be in and out because I have to like make sure I make my calls this morning. So
Okay.
I'll leave for a little bit and I'll come back.
Okay.
So yesterday was like cool. I won $100.
Oh.
Yeah. So we did this thing called Holiday. You just come in and you legion. Legion means like your calling, your database is here. And we have different scripts that we use and we do script practice, just different things like that we did yesterday. And afterwards, like we ended up putting the rest for our team. Yeah, he gave like $500. Like, Jesus.
Gas money. Large job between two of your laptops here.
Oh, God, that's it was just a good atmosphere. But for me personally, one of the biggest thing that I was listening to this agent on Instagram. I think I told you. You should just saying like go into the office. When I first started, I didn't come to the office, and I can tell you it's been a drastic difference. Like they'll laugh at me all the time. You see what my computer was downstairs?
Yeah.
That is pretty much my office. I sit down like it's warm, it's free, and I can look outside. What else do I need? The kitchen is right. I don't think I should.
Don't forget some breakfast. I'm Tiffany with American Hemisphere.
Okay, thanks.
Lots of breakfast in
So
there.
I'm like, and then the window is right there too. I'm like,
I didn't know. Like,
Oh, well, welcome. Oh, you're so good. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How about you?
I'm good.
And sparklers and everything.
Hola, buenos días. ¿Bien usted?
Bien, gracias.
Qué bueno.
¿Cómo les fue ayer? ¿Bien?
Bien.
¿Ya celebraron o no?
Sí, lo celebramos el domingo en el lago un ratito.
Vamos al lago el sábado. Tenemos un primo y la familia de visita.
Ajá.
Comenzaron el domingo.
Vamos
a ir
¿Cuál fueron? Váyanse a la tona. Váyanse, si van a eso, váyanse temprano porque a las 10:10:30
Sí, me imagino. Sí, hay una mantenimiento siempre que vamos. Entonces ya sabes, hoy es un plan.
En la
Pero hay una parte donde me preguntas cómo era. Pero se hace porque tiene una partecita donde...
Can I decide where the best view is?
Huh?
Where the best view is, the right breeze from the fans.
Sí, ajá.
Oh, what's in the back? Yeah, it looks like it's working fine.
You can hear us?
Hard to tell. Oh, I hear Kevin. Yes, I hear you.
Yay.
All right, cool. Well,
25
How fun!
I did not have any. Cuando venga a la casa, hacer la referencia. Usted tiene un programa de permita de hacer eso, pero yo sé que usted tiene porque somos
Didn't mean to ignore you this morning. You said hello. And I was like,
I didn't feel north. You're always fine.
how you doing? Good.
Caravan doesn't even start until 12:30.
What does it?
The caravan for here. Why would you not start it right there at 11:30 right before? Joanne rated? Which comes in here off Long Grove Drive and yeah. Like I've seen the name. Yeah, 12:30 to 2:30. I'm like, why would you not be 11:30 to 1:30? Because by the time everybody leaves here, you're not going to start and forget about it.
How did you go? Did you hear about Page's house?
It was really nice house. A lot of maintenance. A lot of maintenance. You were pointing out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want
She was trying to be careful because she had that iPad sitting there with the gear on, but she was like, no, I need them to reduce the price for the trade. Because it wasn't like it was even hidden. And when people were like, well, they can do it, I'm like, you can do it for the last 6 years, and they were somebody else taking iPad and full price.
So I'm like,
I'll get a print of
Hang on 1 second, going after you. Hang on.
I mean, I turned around the cul-de-sac like this.
Hi, how are you?
Oh.
Good morning, my name is Patsy. Thank you so much.
Somebody held out and held their land? They built around them. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be in and out because I'm making calls, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
come on over. Come on in.
But yeah, two
I've got a gas station. Okay, so.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, my name is Patsy. What is it again? Patsy. No, Patsy. Yeah, everybody.
I will have the both of you afterwards so that we can just catch up.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. I know. I'm here. I'm here, so you can be here.
I think somebody put it back there. Hold on a
Oh, no,
second.
that's, no, it's for everybody.
No, the back thing there, so I guess it will be.
Oh, I don't know. So that's fine. All right. Let me grab this. You want that? Oh, you got it. Okay. Hi.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
I'm Tiffany with American Hemp Shield.
I will. Great. Thank you so much.
Tell me your name.
Patsy is. Patsy is.
Well, what is her name?
Tiffany Jones. Hold on.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
All right,
you.
good morning, everybody. Let's go and get started. Somebody give me some good news. All right, let's have some good news.
Mine needs a little more effort.
To protect their
Some good news.
Some of y'all might remember last year that we did a great charity called Show Them About Beds. And Kadiati was nice enough to bring this to our attention. So they had a big awards banquet and just awarded us back. So I was like, come on, Gabby, Kadiati, since they founded this program where these children don't have beds to sleep on, and they heard about it from a little girl telling them when they were helping out of an apartment complex. These kids are sleeping on the floor, they're sleeping in messes, they just don't have anything. So this organization helps put together beds, they buy them, everything's brand new, deliver them. They did 400 so far since they were founded. Keller Williams did almost 10% of it. We bought those beds last year. So this one to recognize Keller Williams Atlanta North for all of our help. And we got a nice little plaque, and we wanted to take a picture with you, Jim.
Let's do it.
Very welcome. All right, Amanda's got a phone in her hand, so she can be the.
I do have over here.
Oh, good, thank you.
But anyway, thank you so much for introducing us to charity party out there.
There you go.
Yes, last year we donated 30 beds for them. So
Fabulous.
thank you all for your help, and we'll put this on the front desk.
Let's give them a hand, you all, yay! We don't realize how blessed we are and, what we have available that most of the world does not have, so, thank you.
Yep, Connie actually brought it to our attention. All her.
For that, it's amazing. Hey, other good news, who has good news they want to share? 4th of July almost. Almost 4th of July. Other good news, anybody in television land want to share some good news? Well, yesterday, yes, ma'am.
Jim, there's some good news on the board right behind you.
All right, you tell them about that good news.
Okay, so we had well, for me, it's the usual Monday morning thing, but Arthur made it bigger with prizes and you donated money and, she gave us some, tips, like for the first part of the morning we called, and then the second part we texted people, and then the third part we, Arthur encouraged us to do equity analysis to 3 of customers, whoever needed one. And it just, the day just flew by, and the evidence evidence is there on the board about the appointment that we got.
So yesterday, Kathleen and I had a power day. And the idea of the power day was what, Kathleen?
Gosh, to jumpstart the business and focus on really setting up your fourth quarter. Because we're working always 90 days out. And it was, I mean, the energy in this room, I still get the chills just thinking about it. We had, Jim, you don't know it yet, because I did a tally last night. We had set actually about 30, well, we had over 400 connects, you all. Over 400, and that's not including the ones who did it at home. I had a couple of people out sick with COVID and they did it at home, so I don't have their numbers. And you had almost 40 appointments. So even if we said 75% of those actually turn into business, that's a whole bunch of business for one day. And thank you for showing up and investing in yourself.
I just found it interesting that we had a day yesterday where we're going to help people in office grow their business. And I hear regularly, my business is dead, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, well, then show up. Show up. I mean, come do this. And so, guys, and I'm preaching to a lot of the choir right now. A lot of y'all are there yesterday, guys. So, guys, we have so many ways here to get your business to where you want to be. But if you're going to get it, you're going to have to show up to these things. And so, guys, the ones that came, thank you for doing it. You'll see the results in your business very soon. And I even set up on myself yesterday. So, that's what we all do. So, congratulations. Any other good news? Yes, ma'am.
And I say we because a lot of people participated. We did the garage sale, or my treasure sale, not garbage sale, but treasures. And we were able to send, with the help of Juan as well, Anya, who is on the border of Poland, bringing the Ukraine refugees in, send her $1,150 to help with the cause. Previously, we sent her $3,000 that we did through Bourbon and Charcuterie. So if you all would like to contribute at all, I have her Venmo account, and we've just been sending it directly to her, and she's putting that money into action immediately. So, yeah. So thank you all.
Guys, a lot of good stuff going on right now, stuff behind the scenes, guys, so I still say this is the only place to be. Moving on, who's up?
They're always so sweet and let the ladies go first. Good morning, everyone. I'm Carrie with Thomas and Brown. Oh, that's right. Gentlemen and scholars, right? Something like that. Well, I have passed out a little form for you guys, and we have tons of these if y'all want them for your buyer holders. Or really, I mean, I guess listing too would be fine. On one side, it talks about owner's title insurance, just kind of a brief summary of what it is, because a lot of people know, but then they're like, well, what is it? But I kind of know. You know, you could do like a 2-hour class on it, or you could just give them a summary. So here's the summary. And then on the other side, it just talks about wire fraud, which is still happening, unfortunately. And so, you know, we just always encourage the buyers before they send the wire to us for closing, or sellers. Some sellers have to send wires as well. To just call us to confirm wire instructions. It's still happening. We still see the fake emails that either has y'all's logo or has our logo. Take your wiring instructions, and if you don't know, you know, if you're not informed, then you'd be like, oh, sure, they must have changed that, you know. And it's just really heartbreaking to see the thousands of dollars that people can lose. So anyway, this kind of knocks out 2 little things in one wire. So that, and then we have a CE class coming up in August, which I know seems far away, but it's not too far, even though it's still June, right? It's going to be financing in the GAR contract, and it's just called Show Me the Money. So we talk about how you guys can best protect your buyers and sellers, what needs to be provided and when. So I'll send that out as it gets a little closer. And if anyone in here is going to Mega Camp in August, we're going to have our event Monday night, I think it's the 23rd. That's when most people will get in because it starts on Tuesday. So, if you haven't been before, we do a really fun, big event, and it's a lot of different KW offices there. So you can do some networking with other, realtors and hopefully maybe share some business, right? We love that. Are you going?
It's gonna be a
I'm
Max's,
kidding.
it's gonna be a Max's.
No, Max is closed.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're doing it, we've had it at this one restaurant for literally 5 years in a row. But they closed, so it's gonna be at the Driscoll Hotel, which is really cool. They have a neat little space in there. It's kind of a historic haunted hotel. It is fabulous, it's fabulous. And then if you guys don't know, we have offices, here in the building downstairs. We've got Woodstock, Galleria, Alpharetta, Blue Ridge, and Buckhead. So we're all over town right now. So thank you.
It's our favorite closing term.
Yes, and all the land, right?
In the universe.
All right.
Here he comes.
Good morning, Keller Williams.
Good morning.
Good morning, TV Land.
Buenos días, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos
días.
¿Cómo estás?
Buenos días.
¿Cómo
estás?
Muy bien.
Ah.
Gracias. Muy bien, muy linda voz.
So my name is Jeff Hart.
Camilo, or Milo, like Milo.
There you go. And Camilo and I never forget that you and your referrals are the sparkle of our business. So, anyway, for those of you in TV land, come on by. You're going to get some sparkles because you're the sparkle of our business also.
So we have a bunch of TNT in our office.
Great, right next to me.
Before you're leaving?
Yeah. Boom.
So I had, kind of on a business note, I had the fortune of sitting in on an interview with Lawrence, the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. And he did an interview with Ryan Buffini. And he shared a bunch of slides, and I'm not going to bore you all because nobody likes that, right? But one of them that I thought was pretty important, were kind of illustrative. So this red line is where the Federal Reserve over the past in history has raised rates or lowered rates. And this black line are mortgage rates. And you see, it was up higher in 1994, mortgage rates were around 9, and then 8, and then 7 in 2008, and 5 at the beginning of a couple of months ago, and now they've kind of, back in 2019 around 5, and then the Federal Reserve had raised rates, and then they dropped them, and now they're starting to raise them again, right? They raised them 75 basis points this past meeting. They said they're going to raise them another 75 basis points probably in the next meeting, and that's to curb inflation, that reduces demand. Well, at the same, so mortgage rates already take that into account. And so at least, what was being presented is that, that we might go a little bit higher, maybe, we're in the high 5s, low 6s now, maybe it goes to 6.5, but as long as inflation doesn't continue to go a lot higher than what's expected, mortgage rates are going to stay about the same as they are now, maybe go up to 6.5, maybe 6 3/4. So I thought that was kind of comforting, as long as we don't, the inflation numbers last month were 8.6%, as long as they don't, skyrocket from there, we can expect to see mortgage rates in the mid 6s, so, which is for a 30-year fix, which is pretty comforting. Yes.
I just noticed, looking back at that screen, why do you think the overreaction to the Fed versus all the other times the Fed reacted? You see the gap. The gap's like 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times the typical reaction.
You talk about
2022. Look at the spread.
Yeah. So you're talking about
Right
here.
Yeah.
Well, it's because the 75 basis point increase was the largest, I think, in 22 years. So the Fed is raising rates much faster than historically they've done. This doesn't show it. This was the 25 basis point increase that they did in March, but it's really up here, so that's why you're seeing.
And there are different factors over that. The always misconception is because the Fed is gonna raise the interest, so the mortgage rates are gonna go up automatically. That's not reality. These days is because we have inflation, so we have some other factors, but it's not always like a direct relationship with the Fed raising the interest rate. It's different things.
It
But
just seems like a higher reaction than typical.
Yeah, so if you look at it the last time in 2018, when the Fed said we're gonna start raising rates, well, mortgage rates peaked, and the Fed was still raising rates, right? And then mortgage rates started coming down, but before the Federal Reserve, because they anticipated the Federal Reserve raising rates, right? So, and the reason the Fed raises rates is because they want to fight inflation, right? They want to reduce demand. We're seeing a little bit of reduction in demand, right? In the market. Speaking of which, so I thought this was interesting. So the forecast, 2022 forecast, unit sales, down 13%, but home price is up 7%. So, I mean, 2021 was a record year,
I
right?
know, I was gonna ask you if you have that slide for the new agents, if you could show what the, home price appreciation was for 2021, because that was something we never.
Yeah, so home price appreciation, I don't have it on the slide, but home price appreciation was 23%, right? And the, if you couple home price appreciation with interest rate increase, say from 12 months ago to now, that's a 65% increase in the cost of a house. So, I mean, that's why you're seeing some slow, I mean, anytime prices go up that much, you're gonna see some slow demand. It's okay. I mean, the good news, and this is nationally, so the good news is we live in the Sun Belt, right? We live in a great city. I heard a couple of weeks ago, one of the anchors on CNBC called Atlanta the new Silicon Valley. So, I mean, we live in a great place. I mean, you know, your business is not gonna get, I mean, you keep doing the things like you all did yesterday, showing up, like Jim was talking about, showing up, you know, doing it, your business is not gonna be affected.
and no matter the times, you're gonna hear this from the clients, like, I wanna wait because the price is gonna go down, so I wanna have the great opportunity to buy a home. They're gonna be there forever. I mean, you always hear that, I wanna wait for the rates to go down on the prices. This is like an example that the prices are not gonna go down like happened in 2007, 2008. You know, so that's a good conversation that you need to have with them. Of course, the rates are gonna stop the demand, but then you have to go the extra step and have more conversation about credit, what we can do to get that house for you. And based on that, for example, we're gonna have a lunch and learn about FHA, winning the FHA. I mean, I just want you to don't be afraid about FHA. Listing agents, selling agents, it's there for a purpose, it's flexible. So now we have to gather all the weapons that we have in order to help the people, and FHA is gonna be, so it's gonna be July 28th. We're gonna do a lunch and learn about that, so we invite you, it's important to think about FHA. And VA, parentheses, and VA.
VA, right. Well, and thank you. Your referrals are the sparkle of our business, so thank you very much.
American Home Show.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Jones, and I'm with American Home Shield. For those of you that knew and loved Sweet Rhonda, I know I have big shoes to fill. I have been with American Home Shield. Sorry, I don't want her to fall. We'll just keep her here so y'all can see her face. But I know everyone loved Rhonda. I know I have big shoes to fill, and while I am definitely not the warranty queen that she was, I have been in the real estate business for a couple of decades working on the new home side with builders, but I'm new to the warranty side. I've been with American Home Shield for about 3 months. So I'm just super excited to get to know all of you. A couple of new things you probably have not heard about American Home Shield. We just launched all new warranty plans April 1st. So these are our most comprehensive plans we've ever offered, and the cost has gone down. So we have our Shield Essential still, which is our more starter, basic plan that's going to cover the basic systems. Our Plus, which is a step up for systems and appliances. But really, y'all, the new Shield Complete, which is our top of the line plan, is the most comprehensive coverage you will find. And the cost has gone down. It's $700 for the year for single family up to 5,000 square feet, $600 for condo and townhome. A couple of things new about the Shield Complete. It's unlimited refrigerant, up to $1,500 in roof leak repair, a $7,000 limit per appliance, so really great for those high-end homes. And then also they get a free rekey, so no service call fee. So if your buyers want to have their home rekeyed, that $100 pays for itself with the free rekey with the Shield Complete. So that's definitely something important to remember. In the market right now, just over the past 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen a shift where sellers are covering these warranties again. So if you're representing a buyer, don't be afraid to ask so you can offer your buyer some protection. If it's too competitive, if you're not comfortable asking, don't be afraid to remind your buyers that they have the opportunity to protect themselves. So even if you've had a closing in the last 90 days and you'd like me to set up a warranty for you, we can still do that up to 90 days post-close, and we do offer 12-month pay. Also, something I wanted to remind you guys of, who has used our Warranty Link program? No one can't see hands for people on Zoom. But okay, so nobody's used Warranty Link. This is a really great program, but it is an extra step that you guys would need to take. So if you close an American Home Shield warranty, you log on to our Warranty Link, and we pay you $50 for the seller's information, $75 for buyer's information, or if you put both in the system, then you will get paid $100. So see me, and I will get you instructions on how to do that. It's super simple. You just go on and put the contact information in our system. So that's a great way to get some money back for using American Home Shield. I would love it if you guys could take out your cell phones if you have one, because I'm new, and just put my information. I'd love to put your names in my phone. My phone number is 770. Yeah, for those of you who have on Zoom too. It's 770-241-3760. Just send me your first and last name. If you would like the Warranty Link information, let me know that as well, and I'll be happy to send that your way.
770-241.
770-241-3760. Tiffany Jones with American Home Shield. Replacing Rhonda, the famous Rhonda.
Any other questions you all at all?
Do you have new brochures out?
I do have new brochures, so they're in the resource room, and I'll also leave some up front here. Again, those on Zoom, text me and I can send you a digital brochure and a digital business card. But it's real clear, it shows you each plan of what it covers and the cost. So look forward to working with you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take away. All right. Well, I foresee 2 T's, you all, our belief system. Michelle, which one do you like this morning?
Oh, I always go to communication. And that in itself, if you will communicate and keep an open mind when talking to people, we don't know where they're coming from. Ask questions, and then certainly seek to understand first is the perfect way. It solves so many issues.
Guys, communication, if anything, we spend a lot of time doing, and that is we solve problems where people stop communicating. They decide, well, I'm just not going to talk to anymore. We will not talk anymore. And then we get to closing, everybody's in separate rooms, and that's when problems happen. But guys, I love the communication one. Thanks for sharing that one, Michelle. That's great. Moving on. Branding your business, group coaching. Now, guys, Brenda Bashira knows how to do this so well, guys. She ran her business well. She has a really thriving business. That's her vans sitting downstairs that she uses get stuff moved from place to place. So guys, please join her for group coaching, Wednesday the 29th, 11 to 12. Whether you're brand new or you're an experienced agent, you want to know how to brand your business, you need to join Brandon because she does this so well. Want to add anything to that?
I seriously do. Thank you for the opportunity. You should be on this call, seriously. Nobody does it better than Brenda this year. You see her signs everywhere, and it's not often, maybe once every 2 years, I can tie her down to teach a class. So please, remember the 6 personal perspectives?
Yes.
What is one of them? Where am I going with this?
It's, oh my gosh, it's,
Be learning based is what
Yes,
she's
that
trying
is-
to say.
yeah.
That's exactly what she's trying to say.
She's trying to figure out how to say it in English.
Right, yes, yes.
Austin, will you follow me around and do that for me sometime?
Yes,
Sales.
yes, mastery and be learning based. And this is one of the best people to learn from. I would like to know how to brand my business so that when they see a little house with a butterfly, they know it's Johnson Global Estates. I am not there yet. So that's why I'm gonna be on her call. And it is tomorrow from 11 to 12 for you people on TV land. And it says the 29th?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, right. So please be on this call. Brenda is wonderful at what she does. And she is in Gary's top 100, that she's a millionaire real estate agent. She's an MREA. So you can learn something from her.
What is MREA?
Millionaire real estate agent. That means
Good question.
Yes.
Good question. You get extra points for that. That's a great
And it's
question.
not selling $1 million house. It means at the end of the year, they're having $1 million in their pockets, which means you have to sell about how many homes, Missy?
God, that's.
Give me the volume,
Well,
roughly.
I know 5 million is equal to about 140,000.
So
take
what
that.
she's trying to say is that
lot.
Brenda has to sell at least 35 million in volume to get to $1 million net. That's what she's trying to say.
The average agent in the United States makes like $38,000 a year. So she's way above average. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that call, is it on Zoom, is it on Facebook, is it
It
in
will
person?
it will be in person and it will be on Zoom for sure. So I'll double check with her if she's gonna be downstairs teaching, but I know it's always on Zoom, because we do a hybrid now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Please join us. It's gonna be great. New Agent Mastermind with Osmond Johnson on Wednesday, July 6th from 11 to 12. And so if you're a new agent, this is for you. Come join her and figure out what you're gonna be doing as a new agent. Yeah, so please come to that. All right, Feeling Smart Trivia Night. So wants to talk about Trivia Night.
Oh, I can say a couple words.
Please.
For those who attended last year, I heard it was amazing, so it's gonna be even better this year. Trivia we're gonna meet at 6:30, get all settled, bring your own chair, blanket, whatever. We're gonna have some light refreshments and beverages. Trivia starts at 7:30 it is.
It sounds
And
exactly
we'll
right,
go for
John.
about 2 hours and then we'll
Guys,
get
it's
together.
really a lot of fun.
But
It's a lot
Patty
of
lives
fun.
down the street off Johnson's Ferry, so it's a convenient location. We hope you all come.
Johnson Ferry and Lower School,
Lower Roswell
on
Road, yeah.
Roswell Road. Right.
All right, so since I like to talk, we'll go keep going on school supply drive. So we did this last year and supported 4 different schools, and they were so thankful. A lot of these schools don't have foundations to help them raise extra money. These teachers are providing school supplies to these kids on their own dime, and we all know they don't make any money. So if you are out buying your school supplies, which is scary to think about the kids going back August 1st, that's only 4 weeks away. Please pick up some extra supplies and bring them on into the office. Right now we've got 2 elementary schools and a high school we're gonna distribute to, and we could have more, but let's fill up that place downstairs. You saw the sign when you walked into the team meeting, and load it up, baby. Yes.
Anyway, guys, I mean, this is such a blessing. Thank you.
I can't hear you. What? Amazon. Oh, yes, we have an Amazon wish list. So once we send out this flyer next week, we'll give you a link to the Amazon wish list. So if you can't make it to the store because you're just so busy, you can just go click, click, click. Libby did it last year and sent us a huge pile of stuff, and it'll get delivered to the office. And that makes it super easy. Spend whatever you want. It's any amount's appreciated.
But if you want to have a fun afternoon out with the children, just go to the Dollar General store and and just let them pick stuff. It's so much fun, guys, and it's just a fun place to go.
It
My
teaches them
grandson's
some
last year, he
really
loved it.
important lessons too. I remember going with my son, at Christmas time every year, and I would always buy for a little girl, because all I had was a boy, and it gave me an excuse to buy something pink.
Feel free to clean out your supplies at your house. If you've got old logo items you're not using anymore, bring those pens and pencils in. We'll take it all.
This is a
So
great
will they
thing that
take
we
the
need here, and thank you,
They will
Christy and
take everything.
team,
Okay.
for doing this. All right, moving on. Lessons learned, Michelle.
All right.
Is that Rhonda?
I want to take your picture. Send it to her.
All right. That was a good way to, no, I love it.
Good segue.
Yeah, right, exactly. How many of you are doing FHA? So how many of you are gonna go to Supreme's FHA class? Okay. And then I know Silverton and Supreme both offer amazing CE classes, so please take advantage of those, because this week, I had a, incident where an agent showed a property and the client liked it, or they did like it, and they changed their mind, and they have been qualified FHA. So here's the thing, how many of you know about the flipping rule? Okay, how many days have to pass? 90 days, okay, that's great. That is great.
That's from the
agent-
time till you close, not to when you go binding.
No.
Or is it?
Yes, it's
Then they open the file.
Okay, we're gonna let the,
You can
lenders?
go into contract on day 91.
Okay, so you can't go binding before 90
Okay,
days.
and then-
Thank you.
there are some different ways that they approach it, so we'll quickly go over that. The thing is you need to be sure and read private remarks, because in this case, the private remarks said cannot accept an FHA contract until a certain date, or can't do that. If it's not, some of the agents don't know what they're listing. They don't know rules, and if it's in that price point, certainly check. What's a way that you can find out when that property transferred hands?
Tax records.
Tax records.
Realist.
Realist. Now, is realist always 100% right? No, but do your due diligence for your client before you actually get in the car and show them and they fall in love with it. Luckily, as it turned out, the party decided they weren't interested in that property, so the agent didn't have to explain to them that there was gonna be a little bit of a wait. And the other thing is, with rising rates, if you've got 90 plus days till you can do something, is that gonna be a concern?
Yep.
It can be. So just know your properties. Do either Silverton or Supreme want to add anything in regarding this?
So the way that we handle that, if somebody does say it's been 60 days since the property was acquired by the current owner, and the buyer wants to buy it, what we do, we'll go ahead and take the loan application, order the appraisal without a case number. It'll be a conventional appraisal, but we order with the appraiser, it's FHA approved, and they'll do the appraisal. It's an FHA appraisal, they just won't have a case number on it. And the loan will be underwritten as an FHA loan, it just won't have a case number. And we have to work with the agents, both agents have to be amenable, and create the contract on day 91, sign the case number on day 91, and update the appraisal on day 91, and then close shortly thereafter. So you can still kind of make it work.
To update the appraisal, does that require a second visit?
No.
Okay.
No, that's why we intentionally.
You do an appraiser who is FHA approved.
Yeah, and let them know what's going on. Communication is the key.
Read anything to
No,
add?
same thing, we just do Silverton Secure in a case like that.
Okay.
Same thing, and it's exactly the same thing, and just underwrite it and have it sitting there ready to go, and then write the contract on day 91.
Clearly, as the market shifts, that will become more, more appealing to a seller, maybe. I don't know, does the seller want to really hold off in taking, closing a contract? Maybe not. So just keep that in mind. That's it. Thank you.
Let's give our hand to all. Lessons learned. Hey guys, the market continues to evolve. I talk to agents daily about what's going on out there because some things are changing right now, and I wanted to talk about it today because I was talking about so Amanda and I were talking yesterday, and Amanda, tell them about this new listing that you have.
So I have a super cute contemporary listing. It's in Cal High School District. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It's at $425, and it's not.
But it's $100,000 less.
Yeah, than the most recent sale. 100, yeah. So it's the most recent sale though was basically like it looks like it was just gutted and it completely redone. And this one is not that. Like it definitely needs some
Updating.
Yeah. But it is freshly painted on the inside and the out. We replaced the flooring in the basement. They redid the back deck because it was rotted out. Replaced a whole bunch of cedar siding that had rotted. Landscaped the backyard.
So when did you list this house?
We listed it on Thursday.
Of last week?
Yes.
Okay. And so Thursday comes, you put it on the computer. When did you have your first showing?
Thursday morning.
So is that good news, guys?
Yes.
First showing on Thursday morning, exactly right, y'all. Tell us about that showing, how well it went.
They put in an offer, full price, and then they actually pulled it out because they wanted to Airbnb the basement, and the HOA does not allow that.
So that one did not work out, okay? And tell us what's happened since then, your activity. Tell us what you've done to sort of, so it's gonna be a week and no more days. Tell us what you've done since last Thursday.
So we've had quite a bit showing. We had 2 open houses, 12 people came through between the 2. We've had like 10 to 12 showings between, Thursday and now. Only other offer we got was a lowball investor. And most of the feedback I've gotten is they're like, you priced it right, it's just not right for my clients. It's they don't like contemporary, they don't like the neighborhood, they don't like, how many stairs it has.
All right, so guys, I'm gonna stay right there, okay? So if you were advising Amanda right now, and there's a lot of people here that have been in business for a while, okay? What would you say to Amanda right now? If you're advising her, what would you tell her she needs to do next? It's been on the market for less than a week, okay? And Shelley told me of a very similar circumstance, and we'll say that in a few minutes, where she got the same thing. She got no showings the first day. Zero showing the first day, and it is in Walton High School. Not Kell, okay? Kell is not the best high school, but it's still not a bad high school, is it? So what would you advise?
What's the price? $425.
$425.
Yeah.
When was the last showing?
This morning. So it's still getting activity. We have, 3 scheduled for today. So it's still to be seen if they show up.
So what is the issue? Yeah, thank you. What's the issue?
What's
the issue?
I think,
What's the issue?
I have an idea.
Honestly,
What do you think the issue is?
Yeah.
What do you think the issue is? The price?
I don't think it's the price. I think it's that it's contemporary.
That's not what I'm asking.
Please have some feedback.
Hold on, I want everybody to talk, okay? Good question. What is the issue? Why are we even talking about it?
That's what I'm asking.
Because the seller thinks that it should be
I'm
sold.
sorry, you have a question?
Well, not a question. It was actually something I remember hearing about 2 meetings ago that Jill said right whenever we got hit with that, 0.75% base rate increase. Is that I think she said that she had a listing that came out on that week, and it seems like that week was just a week that somebody just came up and punched anybody who wanted to buy a house in the face. And I think that might be like a lingering thing that. I mean, it might be contemporary, because it takes a certain buyer to want to love that. But I think that it's also just kind of weird timing. and all of a sudden, right when people were ready to hit the market, all of a sudden it's like, yay, and just in July, I think the Atlanta Fed said that we have like a 98% chance that our next rate increase is gonna be probably, at least over a quarter point, which most people would think is gonna be 0.75. So it's, for all your buyers that have gotten spoiled by 3% interest rates the last couple of years, this rate of increases is gonna take some acclimating to get used to, I think.
Hey, how are you?
I agree with
You
that.
live here?
I'm gonna go back for a minute because.
You don't. Are you gonna rent it out?
Why are we having this?
Hey, Jim.
Why do y'all think we're having this discussion? Why do y'all think we're having this?
Jim.
Okay, I tried calling you, no one answered.
My neighbor's house sold in.
Okay, well, have a great day.
Adrian.
And they're willing to wait. I did prep with them, I prepped them, I was like, right now it's like 7 to 14 days before this like style house is going under contract, and this like district is going under contract, so they are aware that it's not uncommon that like the first weekend it's not, and they're, scared about the rate increases and,
I had a first time, ready for me? I had a first time in a very long time discussion yesterday with a seller about a price reduction. And I had to kind of talk to the wall for a minute before I picked the phone up and do a little bit of real estate conversation practicing. And I finally wound up in this great conversation by not doing a price reduction and got them to be patient. But it was an Indian Hills house at 725 that's in perfect condition, that has an apartment, blah, 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 and the list goes on. And why have we had 5 showings in 12 days?
Wow. So how'd that conversation go?
And I said, I think, when we were little kids and you'd get punched and then your brother would come in and punch them back, and then they would punch you again on the other side. That's what's just happened to our buyers. They have just gotten punched, and then somebody turned around and punched them again. And I'm the brother. I'm gonna be here for you. I'm gonna walk you through everything. But you just gotta be patient, because the buyers out there, your house, 725, is what your buyers were looking at $1 million houses less than a month ago for X amount of payment. Now they're looking at your house for the exact same payment, but they're only comparing your house to the $1 million house they saw a month ago. That's double punching. That's it. And think about what the price point of yours is at 425, and then look at what the monthly payment is at 425. And then take that amount, and you may have to get Reed or Jeff to help you with this, work it backwards. Then tell me what was the mortgage amount of that monthly payment
2 months ago.
2 months ago, and look at that $650,000 house.
So that's why we're having this conversation.
That's why we're having
That's
this
why we're having this conversation.
is because the buyers have just been punched and punched. And now I'll tell you what I'm telling my team. You want me to? Go get new buyers.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Go get new buyers. These buyers are beat up.
The ones who've been looking for a while.
Marjorie.
No, I was just gonna say as well, like, it's all about the expectations and not just about the sellers, but us agents as well. I mean, for the last year to 2 years. And to me, it's like, is there really a problem, or are we just going back to normal?
Well, and I think
Why
for
not
me,
talk like six
I don't
seconds?
know
So-
what normal is.
That's
I've had my license for 18 months.
That's why
So
we're
my
having this
normal
conversation.
is, we're on the
One
market for maximum 3 days.
So it's the
With multiple offers,
it's the
yeah.
expectations, and that's not really your fault, because to you haven't had it any other way.
Right.
Like to some of us, we've seen it all these
Yeah,
different
it's a
ways with different things on market,
Yes.
and it's all about the communication and the education of it. Like you being here and knowing that a normal market to us might have been 14 to 30 days.
30 days.
30 to 60.
30 days.
30 days,
30
and
days.
properties that are contemporary like yours might have just taken a little bit longer because you're looking for the right type of
60
buyer,
days,
so
contemporary.
there's nothing wrong per se.
Right.
She's got the best answer.
Yeah.
Good answer, I like the answer.
Yeah.
Susan, we'll come back to you in a second.
Well, I have a long-term memory of a seller's market where the house was going to be, everyone's house was gonna be on the market for 90 days, and you only got one offer.
Yes.
And it was a good offer, you know, and it was the one that the sellers ultimately took. So does that concern me, your scenario? Not a bit. I'm
Not a bit.
bothered by
Not
that.
a bit. So here's the thing though, because she's had her license for 18 months, she has never had an expired listing.
Wow.
Which I agree. Hey, Christie.
I think we all agree with everything that's been said, but Amanda and mine, I'll say the same thing. I've been around for 13 years. What the heck do I do now?
What
I
do you do
forget
now?
what I need to do
That's
to
what-
get that
well,
house
and
sold.
these are-
So I can't go re-educate your buyers.
Yeah.
Tell me as a listing agent, how many open houses do I need to have? How many times can I reach out and reverse prospect? What else are you guys doing creatively out there that we can learn from to help us get these 1 week old listings sold?
Talk to other agents.
We're
ask
doing it
the
now. Tell us
questions.
now.
Yeah. Talk to-
We're asking now, Paige. I'm saying, don't, that's what we're here for today.
Okay, well,
What do you do?
I mean, you get out the
Agent
old
caravan.
books.
Yes, I
Get
like
out
that
the old
diagram.
books. I've got a stack of them in there of old notes, of old marketing ideas. And talk to other agents that have been through it, is what I'm saying. And get their advice. I mean, are you having an open house? Is my open house? No, she's not here. I have an open house person. And she's booked through September with our listings. Listings, I haven't been able to say that in 2 years. We had one go on, one go off, one go on, one go off. You know, I have 9 listings now. And I'm having to schedule, open houses, and I'm having to revisit my beautiful marketing that went out every Monday to tell the seller how many showings we had, how many houses went back on the market, how many houses went on the market in the price point within the school district. We're having to do all of that again. And I know that R3's gonna, you know, help us with that. And everybody in this room that has been in that market is gonna help us with that.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I sent out this gorgeous flyer that said Agent Caravan, and Jim Alexander responded to me and said, "A what?" And I said, "Sign of the times. I had a caravan."
Yeah.
The thing I want you to
Get
understand
bodies
though,
through your
and this is, she asked the question when we come to UConn, she asked the question, she said, so I don't know what scripts y'all used back then.
Right.
But every market
It's
is a little different market.
Yeah.
It isn't like, well, now that we're in this market, we do this, we get this market, we do this. No, we've never had a market with
Exactly
this
like
low of inventory. Ever, in 40 years almost, I've never had a market like this one. Didn't you, Paige?
No.
No, so there is not, so when you get back to this script works and you go do this. What you may do may be something totally new because of your age group that we haven't thought about yet.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
That's true. So
Doubt
that's
it.
the guy. Huh?
Doubt it.
That's why MREA works, because
Exactly.
you have to see.
I'll bet this time next week the house is sold.
Right, so you had a comment.
Well, I go back to something that I learned at a mega camp thing years ago, that the price and the timing of the sale of any home, if you draw yourself a little triangle, there's, y'all remember the triangle?
Yes, I do.
There's 3 factors that come
Yes.
into play that will determine where and at what price that house sells. And it's either price, location, or condition. So if you think about that triangle, so look at the condition of the house, look at the location. Is it next to telephone poles and wires? Is it okay? It's in a great neighborhood, it's at the cul-de-sac. What are those things that are unchangeable about location? Look at the condition, and then you look at your price. And if you think your condition is immovable because your seller doesn't want to do anything, then the choice is price.
Price.
Yeah. You know, so you have to look
So
at
it's
those
price,
three.
presentation,
Yeah.
and professional marketing.
And so you
That's the
have to,
other P.
you have to really look at all that, but I would also, encourage you to ask more questions, of your seller and get back to their motivation. You probably got into their motivation when you took the listing. Is their motivation, well, if I can sell it now at a great price, I'll sell it? Or is it, I gotta get out of here in the next 30 days because I'm moving to Florida? You know, it's a very different seller, and so you have to find, you may be thinking, they're freaking out, but are they?
Well,
But
they're
that's-
very different types
So that's
too,
why I
where
would
the
say
wife is crying
talk
every
to
day.
your seller.
And the husband is very like facts,
Yeah.
you know, and the wife is very emotion. So it's, you know, but it's vacant. It was a rental for a couple of years, which is why we had to go in and fix a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's vacant now?
It's vacant now.
Uh-huh.
And what are your showing instructions?
Appointment.
Does it say the word appointment?
Yeah, you have to schedule an appointment.
With showing time?
Yes.
But you don't have the word appointment in your verbiage?
Well,
You just
for
say must-
showing time, you choose like go and show,
Yeah.
schedule appointment,
Just
or.
showing time.
Right, but I'm talking about when you go down where it
In the
says
private remarks,
showing,
or
no,
in
further
showing.
down, where it
Yeah.
says
Yeah,
showing
In
instructions.
FMLS.
I said just showing time.
Perfect, okay,
Okay.
because do not, you're saying it's vacant now? Yeah, do not limit people, let them know they can go anytime, and then I would just say, if it is FHA friendly or
It
VA
is.
friendly.
Which is why we did repairs too.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly, and so, but you know, like, cause I just wrote a VA contract and I just wrote a FHA contract. I didn't think they'd be accepted, but both of them were. So it might not hurt to put that in the verbiage.
Because nobody has been FHA or VA
Correct.
friendly for
Right.
2 years.
And they're,
Might attract that
because
buyer.
both of, let's see, both of these, one was a seller that took a FHA contract, one was a buyer that was VA. And I've been showing the VA person houses since November, because no one will take her contract. I even told her no one would take her contract, but we found somebody who did. So I would play that up as well. Use the VA and
Should I do
FHA.
that in the public remarks and
It's
the
only been a
private,
week.
or just the private?
I think so,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Rusty, you have a comment, Rusty? Yeah, it's been a week, guys.
Well, I know, I'm not that concerned.
In 3 weeks, I maybe think about talking to the owner about pricing and that kind of thing, but you're priced right from what you described. Hill's not the best school district necessarily considered in East Cobb.
Yeah,
So that's a
comparable to
factor.
Walton, it's
The
not.
450 for the square footage and everything you talked about is it 425? Is a very, very fair price. There's a buyer out there. I don't think I would be dropping price or doing anything yet.
Right.
I just got an appraisal yesterday on a contemporary in Kelp. And 425, and I was like, are you kidding? I mean, guys, come on, who would have expected that, right? But it appraised. You know what's cool though, right now, I'm sitting there looking at this, I'm going, you're like that baseball player that came up in his first trip into the majors, he hit everything they threw to him. But then all of a sudden, he had to go back to the basics. And this everything they're telling you right now, I'm just sitting here going, this is just layers upon layers of you for the years to come. I know that sounds patronizing, but I mean, it's really cool to listen to this.
Respectful to her, she didn't come to me and go, oh my God, what can I do? No, I went to her and said, tell me about it. So I actually asked her about it. So she didn't come to me and say, oh my God, what do I do? I feel like such a loser. No. I just thought, this is reality. So, one script, and then we're going to tell you how they handle it differently. When you were asked, do you have any offers yet? What did you say? You remember what you said?
So when we had offers, I said yes,
But at the point, someone
and
said,
now I say, I haven't been asked, so I don't say anything.
no, but you said, you were asked, do you have any offers? And you said, we're waiting on your, or something like that.
That was me.
No,
I told you that
Was that
yesterday.
you? See, I get things mixed
I
up.
like that though, I'm gonna say.
I said, no, we're waiting on your buyer.
Yeah, exactly right. So wait on your buy. You said it. Okay, exactly right. Where Shelley was actually the same thing. She says we have people that are circling around right now. People that are circling around right now. Which one's the better answer?
I got another one.
You like Christie's, the waiting on
Shelley
yours.
gives a sense of urgency though with her answer.
But
Like, you better get
hers
moving.
created urgency, and she got a agent said, well, I better get in there then So hers created urgencies, maybe yours did not. I don't know, guys, I'm in my tower.
I just didn't want agents freaking out like, oh my God, if I don't get in there in 3 hours, I'm gonna miss out. So I wanna try to be friendly, cause we're all working so hard with our buyers.
And
They all work.
that may be the right answer. I just, when I heard those two, you know what I mean? Cause hers is now in contracts.
I say, oh gosh, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. My
Okay.
seller didn't give me permission, so go on and show it and text me when you send your offer.
Yeah, but that's gonna stress
Because
me out as
that's
a
the
buyer's
trick.
agent and be like, they've got offers.
Because buyer agents are gonna now say, okay, I can only go to 425. They have offers. I'm not gonna waste my
I'm not
time.
gonna come. Yeah.
So I think the worst thing that we can do in this minute's market is say we have offers.
Okay.
And it's also, unless you have the permission of the seller, you're not allowed to say that.
Ms. Grace?
Well, I'm getting, like, you're not the only agent who's getting a bit panicky. I've been getting calls after I've shown it. They're calling me after a couple of days. What's your feedback? Are you gonna make an offer? And then when I go back to my buyer to say, are you interested? Well, what's wrong with it then? Because we're so used to like, gotta go now. And for me to now then go back to them and say, look, if you really like this, we can put in an offer, you don't have to be going wherever. What's wrong with it now? And what's it gonna cost me? The rates have gone up. So it's really a little challenge navigating everything on both sides. Yeah. It's like, well, you've messed me around before, now I'm gonna take my time and think about it. No, I don't want it.
Mike?
I'll tell somebody we've had a lot of activity. I've had a couple of agents say they're sending over offers, haven't seen anything, so we don't have anything till we have an offer.
Okay. Margie, did you have something? I'm
No.
sorry, Kim, you're
Well, I
next.
just
I'm
had
sorry.
a question, because I feel like we got away from it a little bit, especially with a vacant house, staging. Is that, since we didn't have to do it when it turned around in 4 days. So now it's going to be longer, and I think we see it's going to be longer. So especially in a vacant house, I do feel like to have something, especially when we're walking in, the kitchen, just a little bit.
And we did stage the backyard, cause that's probably the best part of the house, is the backyard, cause there's a fire pit, it's huge. So we did stage that area, but it wasn't in the budget to stage the inside.
Yeah, I'm just asking that as a new person, for agents that have been here, is that something that you would consider coming, where we're going to now?
Always stage. Always,
Always what?
Always stage.
Okay.
And you can do it virtually, you know. You don't have to bring in real furniture.
Now, with a virtual stage though, is that going to still give the same effect? If they just see a picture online and then they go in and they're like, wow, big empty room, cool. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have the same.
No, it doesn't, but you, in your private remarks, you might say the home has been virtually staged.
When you have to put that in.
Because that, pictures get them in the door, and then what happens after that, you don't have any control over.
Right, but even without virtual staging, pictures are getting them in the door.
Yeah.
Well, see, right, you've had a ton of showings. In my book, that to me is a ton. That's why I'm not concerned.
Yeah.
I think it's not panic time.
I'm not panicking.
Guys are just
Like,
She's just given a scenario. I will say this about staging. I was a big stager and had all of my own furniture, and I have a warehouse and everything else, so.
We're coming to borrow your stuff.
I bought a house, I bought another house to put it all in, so I could play dollhouse. And, so my staging stuff has dwindled down. I put a house on the market yesterday for $1 million in the Soap Creek Dickerson Walton School District. And, it's vacant. And I thought we need to stage this because it is $1 million contemporary, it's all white. And so I got on the phone and I started calling my stagers. They are so busy. The quickest I could get someone was after the 15th of July to stage in $1 million home. So I had to make the decision, do I wait 3 weeks off market or for staging and really hit the market gonzo, which is usually my thought, or do I do it today and I did it today. $1 million for just contemporary in this so great Dickerson one.
But the person that wants that though, that's the house they want, they don't want the traditional, they want that.
Right.
So it's a small pool, I'm sorry, Michelle.
Oh, no, finish that.
Please.
No, we keep talking about contemporary. I don't see a resistance to
No.
contemporary right now. I think,
Not anymore.
I just sold my own. They like the open floor plan, so, no, I think that we need to take that out of our vocabulary or thought process.
And change the word, it's not a contemporary.
It's from the
It's a modern.
Modern, yeah.
Modern.
Well, and that is some of the feedback that I got though, is my clients don't like the style of the house, and I'm like, well, then
Well, then
why
why'd
would you
you
take them
show
to see
it?
it? Like, that's
Yeah.
a waste of your time and mine.
Because there may not be anything else to show, or is there?
They won't show anything right now.
There were, last time I checked, like 7 under 450. So, and 5 of the 7 had price reductions.
Showed 7 homes in 1 weekend.
Can I ask a question?
From what she just said, there's slowly slightly more homes available to view, so now there's a couple more to pick. I'm not saying there's a plethora, but there's a couple more to view where they would look at 1 a week or 1 every 3 days, now they might go see 4, so.
And that's feedback I'm getting too, is, well, we have other showings to have, tomorrow or whatever. And then, oh, well, they picked a home that was more like, with a floor plan that was more suited to what they needed.
Yeah.
It's, the buyers right now, I think, are buyers of like necessity and not convenience, because with the interest rates going up, like, it's not like, oh, this is a great time, let's just do, it's like, oh, no, we have to move. But they also have like their must-haves, their non-negotiables,
And a lot of the buyers that I've seen looking are the ones kind of newly entering the market that haven't dealt with all of this, and 5%, whatever interest rate is not weird to them because they just got their pre-approval.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
New
You need
buyer
new buyers.
market. We need a new buyer pool.
Right, so who would reduce the house right now and who would wait for?
I will reduce it to 385. Well, I know that we have to search, how the market was last week and how the interest rate as well. And also reducing the listing price and speaking with one of the loan officers and asking, we need to find out a words to attract those buyers, either the ones that you already use. If you can give them something value to them, I know that they will come back. So, because right here we are dealing with the condition of the property as well. That is my point.
They're not gonna reduce it to 385.
Well, but
Like,
you are not
yeah.
selling for 385. You are going to list it for 385, and our goal is to sell it for more than that. So what we are doing is like a planning. We are using a strategy to bring those buyers that they are willing and ready to purchase at this moment, Mr. Seller. So if we can attract them, reducing the price, we might have a better response than we still on a higher price.
She's saying the same thing everybody else is saying.
What is that?
Is that we gotta get a different buyer pool. That, I mean, and not in your case.
No, just in
necessarily,
general.
In general.
Yeah.
Yvette said the same thing. Everybody's saying the same thing in different words. We gotta get new
well,
buyer
the old
pools.
buyers have PTSD.
Yes.
They do,
You're
so-
exactly right. You are I mean,
Yeah.
this is my new listing and marketing program that on my listing appointments. And they love it because I draw it at the breakfast room table. And it just shows that when they say, because the first question they ask is what's going on in the market. And I have to show them what's going on in the market. That's what's going on in the market. The rest of it is, I don't know, could get worse. Probably will before it gets better. And what is better? Even.
The home buyers are used to this beautiful house. They're used to it.
Same price.
Now that beautiful house is more expensive.
Every month.
Now they think, well, I can't buy the beautiful house I was used to. I gotta buy this other one that I don't like as well. Because I was used to this gorgeous redone kitchen. Now what I can buy right now, it's an old kitchen.
One other thing about the staging, you said it was a rental home.
Yeah.
It's empty. Does it feel like it's a rental home when you walk in it? Does that?
Does it
I'm a big
smell like
believer in
a rental?
Most of them
staging.
feel like that.
A little bit, but the walls were like a dark beige, like it was like a ugly, really ugly color, so we painted everything just like Swiss coffee white.
But if y'all have this house right now, okay, this is your listing, and she said, good activity,
Mhm.
you did a good activity, okay? Tell me the top three things y'all would do to get it sold now. Would you leave it alone? Would you reduce the price? Would you stage? What would you do? Someone give me some ideas.
I would stage, but I wouldn't necessarily stage with furniture because several years ago when I was still selling, I had a vacant ranch in North Druid Hills, hot market. For 2 weeks, we sat with no offers. I went in, I put towels in the bathroom, I made it look lived in. I did the kitchen, that doesn't take anything, no furniture. Hung some pictures from TJ Maxx and I sold it the next day.
Okay. So then have fresh photos done too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Who else? What else would you, right now to get this house sold? Paige?
I would key in on factors that make your house different than any other house that's different in that marketplace, and screw your marketplace down to something really small. And at 425 and in that market and that house, the most important thing is to be in before school starts. So if you can change your write-up, change everything you're doing, hold it this way, stand with your foot that way.
Yeah.
And change your
I
write-up.
buried at St. Joseph, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go to St. Joseph, throw it out, but
Yeah.
change your write-up first and say, do you need to be in before school starts? Ask the question, because who's reading the write-up? The agent is not reading the write-up. The buyer is reading the write-up. So say something, do you need to be in before school starts? Call your agent today and tell them, bring me to 123 Main Street. I can be in and settled before my children have to be registered. Because you're vacant.
Right.
So you can close in 10 days and you're done.
Right.
So attack the mom.
Okay.
I did have a seller who was way techier than me, because everybody's way techier. He told me, he said, I got a notification again about my house, and he's not the buyer, he's the seller. And I put him on, the program where you could see what happens in his neighborhood. So he said, what did you do? And I said, I don't know. He goes, well, you must have done something. And I said, well, I changed the remarks, because I kind of do that like once a week. I don't know whether you said, I don't know. I did something, but it had to do with changing the remarks, and it refreshed.
Okay.
So, like I said, don't understand it. Whatever you want to say differently, I would try that and see what happens. 'Cause
Change out the primary picture.
You
Do
can
it at
swap
5 o'clock.
pictures, you can change verbiage.
Do it at 5 o'clock p.m.
Angela.
Drive time.
Reverse prospecting.
I was gonna do that today. I've done quite a few phone calls for reverse prospecting, so anyone who favorited it, I called their agent, and then I called quite a few from Quan that were matches, cause I'm like, oh, I know you guys. So.
Changing, what you were saying is changing the description, change the algorithm and impressions. So what Paige was saying, change your verbiage to have fresh set of eyes, I don't know how it works, but it change the algorithm so that it's fresh.
Okay.
So you're getting more value.
And do it at 5 o'clock p.m.
And when you change
That's when everything is refreshing, the person goes home, it's drive time, the person goes home, it pops up on their phone and they can see it at 7.
Okay.
And when you do the verbiage change, I put an open house for Thursday night.
I was gonna
Everybody does
ask
the weekend
for-
at the same set time, and this is holiday weekend.
Yeah, holiday weekend. Should I do it Thursday? Cause I don't wanna do it on Sunday.
I would do it on a weekday myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did one on Friday last week, and so the live Thursday, did one Friday, had 2 neighbors and a family come through. So we had someone come through.
Keep in mind that people might be traveling
That's
on
what
a
I was
holiday
saying.
weekend and coming
Yeah.
here. I wouldn't let the holiday weekend stop
Right.
you.
Or do it Saturday, so that way Sunday they're doing the family, the
Yeah,
party.
do it on the
Well, the thing about open houses or caravans or anything else that you do on the holiday weekend, only people who need to buy a house are gonna show up.
Yeah.
Everybody else is gonna be at the swimming pool, but if there's somebody that has to get their kids in school before school starts, they're not gonna be at the swimming pool, they're gonna be at your
Yeah, your
listing.
open house. Highly motivated on
Do like Keith here.
And that's why I never canceled an open house on a rainy day.
Oh, no.
Best.
Whoever came out on a rainy day was interested.
Yeah.
There was serious buyers.
Absolutely.
I never canceled that. All right, guys, anything else that we need, and this is us as a group, we'd be focusing on if we have a house that's not selling. Yes, ma'am, you come to you with it.
This is a side question, but are you seeing more contingencies being accepted?
Anybody?
Yes.
He says yes, anybody else?
I just got two, buyers, I got them closing costs and home warranties.
Closing costs, home warranties, and so they're negotiating more.
Yes.
So that's true. Okay.
I'm not sure about this, but do you all think that giving some broker bonus really work on that case?
Not now, it's only been a week.
It hasn't even been, it's only been 5 days.
Yes.
But she's
No,
asking.
but she's talking in general.
In general, would a broker bonus work right now? Who knows, guys?
Shoot, getting 3% would be nice.
Oh, good news, 3% listing. Yeah.
Plus $1,000 broker bonus, so even though we know that we have few buyers, so a lot of buyers, but unfortunately, because of the interest rate of the fact that we having at this moment, we couldn't make those kind of transactions that we're supposed to do. So do you think that, I don't know, motivating, because we are talking about motivating the buyer, but not the agent.
Oh,
I
so
don't know,
closing
I was
costs.
thinking just,
Maybe, seller will pay some closing costs.
Exactly.
Could be a motivating factor for a buyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Angela.
She's got that in there.
Finish your question.
I forgot.
Okay, good.
Just a sign of the change, I got the sweetest voicemail from a new construction agent asking me if I had buyers for her communities and offered full 3% and $10,000 bonus. So that's definitely a shifting in the construction.
What happened to 2.5%?
Yeah, exactly. All right, anybody else? Yes, ma'am, Christie.
I was gonna elaborate on Paige's comment that you send the monthly update on, or weekly update on Monday to say, here how everything went, here's what showings we have scheduled. But looking at Zillow to see how many views and how many saves or shares. Same thing with Realtor.com, FMLS, the favorites, because in that hopefully is an indicator, there's 52 shares of your Zillow listing, then hopefully you've got some interest driving, like, hey, I sent it to my agent, there might be some more showings. So that's usually my indicator that we should have some interest coming. And that helps some of the sellers when they're like, well, I don't have anything yet. Well, look what's going on online. So this makes you look
I guess my question to Christy or to Paige or to anybody is how many of you all use Hit Counter and watch the
Love Hit
activity?
Counter.
I do.
Can you explain it, please?
Well, Hit Counter, I've got it pulled up on this listing right now, and it shows how many clients have viewed it, how many agents have sent it out, how many have rejected it, how many have favored it. So you're seeing both the activity of the potential buyer and the agents, and you get an idea and you can compare it to the other ones, and I'm comparing it in that same neighborhood.
It's really just a little deeper than the reverse prospect.
It's the same place.
Yeah.
You actually have to go to Hit Counter to get to reverse prospecting.
Are you all, so let us finish with one more question, okay, guys? Is the market we're in right now, is it, as my friend Andrew said, he made a change, I haven't asked him about this, is it seasonal and we'll come back and all, everybody goes back to school? Or do you think we're in this market, new market, where the listing will be on the market longer?
Both.
I think it's both.
Both, okay, so someone elaborate on that.
I'll speak for Andrew.
Okay.
It's seasonal.
Okay.
But that's only one punch that people are getting. That's that double punch thing.
So it's seasonal.
It's seasonal and it's interest rate and it's things are changing. So, but it's definitely seasonal.
So do you think that when August comes and kids are back in school, we'll start getting more listings and we'll also, if we get back to maybe it'll sell in 2 days rather than in 14?
No, because that's not what happened before when it was seasonal. I mean, August wasn't a great month before. It's not a good seasonal month.
I think it still depends on like which market, which neighborhood, which house. I feel like it's gonna start being in pockets. And I was, talking to a friend of Bashir the other day and she, I think it was vaulted over $1 million and she got like multiple offers and went over asking. Like, I think it just depends. It's just so different that it depends.
Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Rhonda, do you? Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
I think that we're getting back to normal.
Yes.
We're getting back to the levels of 2019, 2019. 19, yeah. I mean, it's exceptional times of 2020, 21. But so it's a shock, always a shock. For those who has been in the business for the last 15 years, you see these changes. So,
Cycle.
it's gonna change. People getting used to the new normal.
We have new construction inventory, which is great, which allows our buyers to be able to breathe and go into new construction instead of the congestion with resale. That's gonna cause some of the days on market to increase because there's gonna be less buyers because they have options. And we have a little bit more inventory, which gives buyers more options, which causes longer days on market. This is standard. It's not something to freak out about after 5 days, but because of the market we've been in, 5 days, it's like, oh my goodness, this thing must be stretched out. But this is spring, summer, this holiday, and things are starting to open up a little bit, some of that pressure, and this is just par for the course. It's not a freak out.
And here is the thing that we have to all just, we talked about it 2 months ago about it's in the buyer consultation. Now it's in the seller consultation as well. We have to properly prepare our property to be presented to the public. But we also have to properly prepare our clients, buyers or sellers, of what to expect. If they have nothing, then all they have is what their neighbor told them, and stop that. Because the neighbor is going to over exaggerate it, or is going to exaggerate it, and get them a touch of reality. Mr. Seller, I know that your neighbor told you that he had 16 offers and sold his house for $150,000 over list price in 17 minutes.
In March.
That's not where we are right now. So let's just go into this, and let me tell you about this horrible market that we're in, and I use that word. Let me tell you about this horrible market we're in. It may take me about 15 days to sell your house, and we may only get 3 offers. But are you okay with that? Because we can only sell it once anyway.
That's part of the script. It may not be your script, but that's part of the script. This is the new reality. I know you never said that. By the way, they didn't get $70. It was only 12. You could do that. And by the way, it wasn't $7.50. It was $7.25. And so, sorry, that's wrong. You be the expert. Quit letting your neighbor or the news or CNN.
That's right. That's right.
You be the expert. So that's not true. So you have to do your homework, don't you? Yeah. What the hell? I almost said hell. What the heck are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Like I heard on the pivot call where he said that the buyers are in, like when you're talking to your clients, the buyers are in today's market and the sellers are in the market 3 months ago.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well said.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well stated.
James Shaw. Yeah, James Shaw, the pivot call.
Oh, yeah. Anything else?
Can you say that again? Can y'all say that again?
Is this helpful?
The buyers are still.
Told me she yesterday, but she realized she had closing. I said, you're going to go closing over coming to team meeting? She said, yes, right. I said, good for you. All right, guys, anything else at all? Remind you that next week, next Tuesday, we're not in the team meeting because it's that 4th of July, so we're going to give you guys a Tuesday off. We'll be ready to ride and rock and roll the following Tuesday. Anything you need to talk about?
We have 2 guests here today, so I don't want to be remiss, and please stand up and introduce yourself.
My name is Olana Chandran. I'm a new agent, maybe. I'm still to sign up. I was introduced to Michelle by somebody who sold our house.
Sarah
Sold us
Bertina.
a house, sold us a house. This is how I happened to be in this office. And thank you.
Great.
Welcome.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Katsia. I'm a new agent and currently I'm working for Smart City Locating. I got invited by Patricia, well, she's not here right now, but I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to meet everybody.
Thank you all for coming.
Shake a sit next to me. That's your heart.
If that doesn't scare you off, we don't know what will.
And by the way, thank you all for coming today.
Yes, I talk this loud all the time.
It's too easy these days. And I just want to-
Ask her husband.
We should do this. I mean, I really love it. I think that we have to be a little bit more frequently when any of us has that kind of problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't know that.
It's good to hear there's other people out there having the same issues you're having, guys.
Yes.
But that's why I said, let's talk about this. And thank you all so very much.
Thank you.
And enjoy your day.
All
And
right.
Billy, thank you for standing in for Kimberly. Let's give Billy a hand. Yay, Billy! Billy, you didn't mess it up.